Okay guys, I'm back to start on this piece again. So I worked on it the other day and got these two drawers done and kind of framed them out to kind of, I guess, imitate the fact that I would have a little more framing around them, which I don't. So I did it separate. There is a little frame here in between the bottom, bigger drawers than the top, and then also above it, and there's a little on the bottom. I'm gonna go ahead and do this top section of drawers here and probably try to frame out around that so it's a little bit darker, and do the base or the frame of the piece, and then start working on the sides. So now we got to remember what we did the other day. And I know I used a whole bunch of colors. I just kind of randomly put it on with the same brush, and so that's what we're going to try to do today. And see if I can get this piece going and get it done soon. All right, so I just have an old El Cheapo brush from Harbor Freight that I'm gonna start using. And I just picked up my Terracotta first. Just putting a little bit of paint on here. And then, remember when we did this the other day? Not really going for any kind of symmetry or smoothness. We are gonna try to get the frame here in between the drawers. So I'm gonna try and see if I can get this drawer. I do need to still go around the trim on the drawer, but I'm gonna try to get it out right now so I can do this trim without having to repaint all this where I'm messy. So let me take this out real quick. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and pick up my kernel mustard now. Same thing, just dip it in a little bit. I'm using the same brush, no changes. And I'm putting a little bit of this on the frame, just because we know we're gonna come back and put other colors as well. This is probably gonna be a little more blended looking unless I pause and let these colors dry, because otherwise they're gonna kind of blend together. It was a little easier on this 2-drawer piece because I had time for it to dry while I kind of worked around it, but this not so much since it's a smaller area. This is our apricot. Remember, it's giving us kind of that peachy look. We do want that one to kind of blend a little bit because we don't want it to really be peachy, or really that apricot, I should say. This is collard greens, which is the one that's darker green. Put it over here. And then we may have to let this dry a little bit. Well, I think I'll move around and do a little bit on the side while this dries. I guess if you want to, when you do this, you can put your like your colors that you like more, if you want. Because you can do the sides a little different than the front. Doesn't have to be exactly the same. Can add a little more red to the terracotta color. Make it a little bit different so it's not all the same. I just love these fall colors though. peachy color. So we'll have the apricot and the terracotta, a little more yellows. I had done this the other day. I really like the greens and stuff in it. Gives it a little bit of an undertone, but also kind of the overall look, if we're really trying to imitate the other piece, is peachy, kind of a peachy color. So that's what we're gonna go for. And we'll try to keep my big pregnant belly out of the camera. Sorry guys. So I've got 3 brushes. I got these 2 old ones. And then the crayon that I'm using more for the chocolate and the red. And like I was saying earlier, I don't know. I was trying to decide if I want to do a kind of different color over here and, you know, stick with more of a blended color instead of a, so it's not, I guess, so it doesn't look exactly like the front, if that makes any sense. I definitely have a little more peach in the front after we came back with a second or third or whatever coat we were working on. So mostly what I'm using right now is the terracotta, the apricot, and then the kernel mustard. And again, we don't want it too perfectly smooth. We kind of want to show our lines. And we want to see where the colors kind of change. And this is where I say, like, it gets hard when you start blending and you get used to trying to get a nice smooth look. And then you come back and try to do one that's not nice and smooth. It's hard to let that blending part of yourself go. Truthfully. We do want some of those other colors in the show and through. We do want some lines. And I really do just love the green. Kind of makes it gray when you mix it with the peach. Dab it. We do want some smoothness, but also texture. And that's it. We're just gonna keep adding these. This is the mud puddle. I'm just gonna dab in that on. Kind of brushing over it. So this is my cling on here. All right, so we're almost done, and we'll try to finish this top drawer up here. I may have to lighten this a little bit around these drawers too, because it's a little bit darker than I think what the sides are. But I'm having a hard time telling if I even like this piece or not. I like this when I started out, and I like the idea, but I'm not sure. So we'll see. I'm gonna go ahead and finish up the top, and hopefully, you know, everything's ugly before you like it. So hopefully once I get this top drawer, it'll all kind of come together. So I'm gonna kind of do the same with my colors here. I still have these same brushes that are all beat up and filthy. I'm gonna do a little peach and a little orange. This is the terracotta. I need a table beside me. I'm just kind of randomly adding these colors and trying to lighten it up a little bit so it kind of matches the bottom here. It's a little bit of the Honky Tonk red, I think is what it is here. So here's what I have so far. I stopped videoing and just kind of walked around it to look at it. I did come back and add just some areas where it was a little lighter than others. Sorry about my shadow, but just trying to add some more texture, just kind of dabbing it, and I've got lots of texture with my brush strokes and stuff. I did come back and add a little bit of the Colonel Mustard around this. It looks so different on camera than in person because of the lighting. It's crazy, but you can see there's lots of texture here, lots of colors, but we're kind of getting there. I'm trying to decide if I want to do a whitewash over the whole thing so it kind of looks like the inspiration pink or not. And that's the side, and then the feet will be natural, and then the top, I don't think, we didn't strip or anything, so we will plank it. Once I finish painting it, I'll take the paper off and see how it looks, but that's what we have so far. Hey guys, I'm back. I'm gonna start working on the top on this piece here. And I don't know if you can see here, the top is a little bit lighter. This piece has a frame with a mirror that goes with it. I'll turn it so you can kind of see it a little bit. So the mirror goes here, we just don't have it attached, and this is just sitting up here so I could kind of get a look at it. This is darker. It does have a distressed look because we sanded it down to scuff it. And the feet are also the same. They're that dark wood with some lighter areas where they were kind of scuff sanded. The top, however, is a little bit lighter. It kind of has more of a honey kind of color to it, if you can see. And it's just kind of scuff sanded too. But it's a little bit lighter, especially more over here than on that other side, maybe where it was near a window, I'm not sure. But it's lighter than this. And I like this color with the paint that I did on this dresser, but not the honey color. So I was trying to decide if I wanted to paint it, if I wanted to strip it, like what was the best course of action and gonna give me the look that I wanted. So what I have decided, I did a little corner over here where I used some Dixie Belle No Pain Gel Stain, and I'm just going to apply that because it darkened it just a tad so it matches this more. And I actually like this color with the finish itself. I'll kind of show you the side here if I can. So that's what I have going on. It's just lighter, so I think that the dark looks a little bit better with it. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use a sponge to apply it. And I'm going to get some gloves, obviously. But just, this is the kind of sponge I'm using. It's just a little compact piece of sponge that I like to use for mine. And I just got stain on me that quick from picking that up. So I'm going to get this going and apply this, and I'll do it in a time lapse so it doesn't take as long. This is scuff sanded. It's not stripped. The grain does feel like it's open because it's kind of, I can feel a difference in it where it's kind of rough, but it is still a little bit slick because it's not stripped down to the raw wood. So when I apply it, I'm going to put it on kind of heavy and then come back and wipe it after a minute, or maybe even dab it on a little bit and kind of let it sit for a minute and then wipe it back.